Yo, YouTube, what's going on? It's Snack. We are back with another Front Office Football 9 video in our New Orleans Saints playthrough. Okay, we just finished our 2025 season, so we're now in 2026, about to hit the off season again. It was a rough year for us, 4 and 1. All right, we were one tie shy of being last in the division. Definitely a year of we uh, there were a couple of injuries, and nothing crazy. I mean, we weren't like extremely unlucky or anything, but with this setup right here, when you lose Derek Carr and you lose Chris Olave and Kendre Miller misses a couple games, it's like your offense just does not have what it takes to to weather the storm. And we took a little bit of a step back on defense. um we were kind of like definitely more of like a middle of the pack defense than like one of the best defenses in the league. And that's just like, um you know there was a lot of aging talent that we had gotten rid of, and we couldn't really replenish because there's just too much dead cap. And these were some of the things that we were expecting. One thing that did come up pretty strongly, though, is that our first round pick from last year, Caleb Bryant, is an 85 overall. This guy is a beast. 18 sacks in his rookie season, so that's somebody that we'll absolutely be building around in the coming seasons. But yeah, looking at this team right now, we got a couple blue chip players. Alante Taylor's really good. Caleb Bryant's really good. And then from there, it's like, the defense has some things, some all right players, and then like the offense is really, I mean, we're really strapped, just to say the least. And yeah, we're gonna have to, make some moves this year. I think just looking at this right now, I'm like pretty sure like one thing that I want to do coming into this draft is I want to take every single position on offense once. Like I want like Derek Carr is on his final year of his contract with us, and he is 34 years old. And I don't know where that's going to go. And our quarterback situation is not really like behind him it's like, okay, we got a fifth rounder and an undrafted player. Like, so yeah, that's I think we need to invest in like possibly a quarterback in the first couple rounds. We do have an extra second round pick this year from a trade that we made at the deadline. um Kendre Miller is really good. He had another 1,000 yard season, but behind Kendre Miller, it's really nothing. So I mean, we could use another running back. We drafted Brian Simon 7th round. I think I want to move him back to running back. Because I mean, he's worse as a fullback. But either way, we're like drafting another running back. Like that's something I would have no problem doing. Even though we got Kendre at a value right now, like there's no reason not to have two good running backs. Tight end, we're obviously like extremely strapped. Receiver, like Bub Means kind of popped up this year a little bit, but Olave was hurt for the majority of the year, and he actually is making 25 million this year unless we cut him, which I think I'm gonna do. Like we don't owe him any bonus somehow. So I thought 5th-year extensions were all bonus, but either way, like whether he's on our team or not, I think we need to draft a receiver because I don't think I'm going to resign him. And then Rashid Shaheed, I think, is also a free agent. Yep. So yeah, we're just like the skill position is like terrible with this team right now. We need a complete makeover. Offensive line, we should be drafting one every year, so I'll probably take another offensive lineman, and then we can figure it out on defense. But the defense is okay. Anyways, so after all that rambling, let's see. We got a score of 20 here this year. So our roster construction was really good. Our performance was actually really bad. Our roster performance was okay. Our roster construction was okay. Performance was really bad. So we underachieved. I'm surprised they had us as underachieving last year, but I mean, Anyways, I think you know, part of this is due to injuries. We lost our starting quarterback. We lost and that was, I mean, that was really it. We lost our starting quarterback and everything crumbled. So that just tells you the infrastructure of the team, like we didn't insulate this roster at all. And we couldn't. There was no way of doing that. Like we had too much cap that was just dead essentially. So we had to rid some garbage from the previous regime. So all right, here we go. Enough rambling. Let's get into it here. I didn't even do the stadium plan deadline last time, so let's take a look at that. We're down here with 25 support to get a new stadium. I mean, condition, we're, you know, it's not brand new, but I mean, it is like, this thing opened in 2011. It is one of the newer stadiums, Superdome. So it's like top 10 newest stadium. Still a lot of support to do something like that. I don't think we should yet. I think I'd like to get a little bit more momentum behind what we're doing here before I go and rip a stadium down. I just don't really see a need to do that. So 85K at the Washington Commanders Stadium. Wow, that's a big crowd. That's biggest in the NFL. Dang, okay. Washington, I see you. They needed a new stadium for sure. All right, ticketing plan. I'm just gonna just go with the recommended. I think that's fine. Okay, great. Let's take a look at our coaching staff. What's up with what is it when it highlights it red? What does that even mean though? I would like to know that. I don't know what that means. But yeah, looking at our situation, like Joe Woods, we definitely had some turnover on the defensive end. Woods is a good scout. I'd be open to looking at other at other coordinators for defense. Yeah, I mean, play calling and development for Daquan Borg. And with Woods, it's young players motivation. Scouting. I think they do complement each other well, Borg and Woods. And I want to say it was just a down year. We had some like disheveled things happening. Like everything was just disheveled. We had some pieces all over the place. I still really like Dennis Allen as a coach. I really do. I think I'm fine with our staff here. I don't really have much of an issue with any of it, but we'll take a look at D coordinator and see if you know, extending Joe is what we want to do, or if we'd like to look outward. So yeah, head coach, I'm not really interested in moving on from, but then yeah, so we get to D coordinator here. Let's see what's available. We'd probably look at 4-3 over because that's, I mean, that's what Dennis Allen is. What is Borg though? He's a 4-3 under, so he calls the under. I guess we'd probably stick with under in that case. Because he's the play caller. So 4-3 under. So we have somebody here. Yeah, that's Joe Woods right there. Okay, so yeah, 100 scouting. And he's a secondary guy. Our assistant coach, Quan Borg, is a D-line guy. It's Dave Tube. Um, who's like a good player developer, a decent play caller. We don't really need play calling. So I think I'd be looking to like uh a couple good scouts here. Good motivator, decent developer. Looking at Joe Woods, like this guy's a better developer than Joe Woods. Better interviewer, and what is ITV is intelligence? Oh, that's interview. This is intelligence. So somebody, it's like a slight bit smarter, or no, he's on the same plane as Joe with intelligence. Yeah. Daniel Yeomans is interesting. Linebacker guy. Um, just a much stronger developer than Joe Woods is. Not as good of a scout. But really smart guy and a pretty good interviewer. That's somebody that's interesting for sure. Um, I think the development piece is really big. I mean, he kind of lines up with Joe very similarly. Um, Man, Joe's just a really good scout, and I just like we don't like decent scout there. Not a great scout for offense, and Dennis Allen's not really a great scout either. So having somebody like Joe on the staff, like I think that really helped us nail down Caleb Bryant. So it's tough for me to like really want to move on from that. And it's not like we need more player development. Like we have, but the only thing is like we really don't have any young player development. And like at this point, like I do think that actually is something that we should really be stressing because we're gonna like we have now one of the youngest rosters in the league. And that's going to continue to be the case because we're just scraping off the old regime and replacing with we're now having a couple of second round picks walk in. So I mean, let's do it like this, right? And then this one's interesting. Like 4-3 under secondary guy from Cleveland, Raymond Ventrone. He's 43. Not as good of a scout, but close to there. Um, I think the thing that is like interesting about that is like he's a very good play caller, very disciplined, whereas like Joe, not as disciplined, not as great of a play caller. And we hired our assistant coach to be our play caller. Um, but I think like eventually we can shift to like a more like an offensive assistant coach if we have a play caller on defense. So yeah, something to think about. So yeah, these are all the so here's our current, these are the stronger young player development ratings. I'm also not afraid to go 4-3 over if 'cause it's not really going to be a massive difference. Our head coach is lined with that style. And if we're thinking about moving on from our assistant coach, we could do that. I guess it'd be like, where's the move then, right? Because then we would need a play caller if we're shifting away from our assistant coach. This guy's 35 years old. This smart guy. This one is definitely interesting. Motivator, disciplined. Just the play calling piece really isn't there. The scouting piece isn't there also, though. Yeah, it's tough. I think I'm going back and forth in my mind right now between re-signing Joe and making a shift. I I think I'd probably end up wanting to go younger. Um, and it'd have to be leaning more into player development, like in scouting, because I don't want to lose that much scouting. But Joe really does bring the scouting, you know? That's tough. That's tough. Dennis Allen being like a defensive guy, I kind of want to line up with him and get somebody who's 4-3 over just to line things up there. This Kent Garcia is really interesting D line specialty as well. Um, we would just need to grab a scout. We need to grab a scouter um, with our assistant coach. I think I'm leaning Kent Garcia here. I think we're gonna. He's smart. I think he's got room to grow, probably with play calling, maybe with scouting as well. I'm gonna go young here. I hope that's the right move. Um, and then now we're looking at assistant coach, and we just signed Quan Borg. It's good play caller, good with player development, and a decent scout. But I think we're gonna be drafting offense quite a bit this year as well. So I think it's maybe time to shift things a little bit. Look at some offensive. We go balanced here. We got 100 scouting right here. This guy's basically just a pure scout. Donnell Bunton. It's a pure scout. Let's look at scout actually as like our secondary trait here. So balance. All right, it's gonna start down here. Okay. Um, Motivator. Not a lot of young player developers here. Travis Kelsey. Oh my God, look at that. Travis Kelsey, you can develop young players, motivator, disciplined, smart ish. Scouting is not quite there. Yeah, the scouting I think has got to be at least a 70 here, like for what we're trying to do. It's kind of unfortunate. The worse you are at scouting, the better you are at developing young players. But I mean, we did. Yeah, Lucas doesn't have it. Kent has it defensively. Dennis Allen doesn't have it. So we really do need like an offensive, like young player development guy. But somebody that can also scout. Donald Button is all he can do is scout. Which I don't necessarily want to get stuck down that track here. Wally Lopez. This guy is interesting. Tight end, specialty. Good at developing young players, intelligence, scouting. This is like exactly who I'd want in my assistant coach. He's smash mouth style. But I don't think, as an assistant coach, I don't think that necessarily is the worst thing. Another smash mouth here with Carl Soto. Not as smart though. Wally Lopez 51. I think having somebody like this, just a smart guy who can scout and develop players, like just focus on developing our young players, is going to be a super important thing. I think this is I'm looking down the line here. Like he's got the 4 traits that I'm looking for in an assistant coach. I'm trying to find somebody with more of that. But like here's the West Coast. Gus Kaiser. The intelligence isn't really there. Yeah, like he's got the four things that I'm really looking for. I think Wally Lopez is my guy. All right. So a lot of switch ups to the staff here again. A couple, but I mean, like you look at like where we were this first season. Everything except for Dennis Allen is different. So I think we gotta stop from doing that going forward. We gotta try and keep this as steady as possible. Really good tackle here. Where are we drafting right now? We have the 4th overall pick. And then the second round, we got 4th and 14th. So we have, 3 of the first 45 picks or something, right? Like, so we're gonna have a shot. We could get this quarterback, Avery Chisholm. There are some things to be had here. Yeah, we'll see how this all shakes out, but okay. Franchise player deadline. Gonna franchise tag any of these guys. I think I'd actually like to re-sign Alante Taylor. I don't want to franchise him. Rashid Shaheed, another 850 for 3 touchdowns. He's been fine, but I do not want to pay 35 million for that. And Foster Moreau, absolutely not. Okay, so free agency starts now. All right, and now where the fun begins. I'm going right to Alante Taylor here first. So he wants 3 years, 20 mil-ish. Yeah, that'll get him till he's 30. Oh, we have to clear up space first. Okay. Right. We cannot cut Chris Olave yet because he would take an injury settlement. He is out for 5 more weeks, which means we have him through pretty much through the draft, I think, and then we can make moves and cut him. But like, we gotta find a way to keep our boy around, Alontae Taylor. So that means we need to, I think, look at, yeah, that's a release. This Eric McCoy here has got to be one that we are saying goodbye to. He's an 8-year pro. He's 46 overall. Like that's basically like good depth. And he's our starter. Like we can't be paying him that much money. We're not going to get anything for him in a trade. But let me just do my due diligence before we make this cut. We're going to take 3 mil against next year's cap. It's just going to have to happen. And that will allow us to re-sign Alontae Taylor. We still have 7 mil in cap. Okay. Speaking of our cap situation here, we are, okay, even with all of our 21 mil in draft picks here, we're still 2 above, which is good. Only 15 mil dead this year. We just added 5 to that or whatever, so not bad, not bad. We'll probably let these 2 quarterbacks walk. Francisco Lucas. Yeah, we have some like running backs and stuff. We're probably gonna let Foster Moreau walk. Let's see. Rashid Shaheed, what's he gonna cost to keep around? 4 or 5 mil. I almost think like he's been doing 800 yards and 3 touchdowns for us, and I think he's got a good connection with Derek Carr. He's 27. We'll have him till he's 30. But like, man, 5 mil, it goes a long way. What else are we looking at? Let's see if we could actually clear up some more space here. Ryan Ramczyk, our right tackle, we can save 19 mil by getting rid of him. He's a 62 overall, which is like a good starter, but like we would need to invest in another tackle, but like what would we be able to get for him? I don't know. No interest in him. He's in the final year of his deal. I think it's probably more worth just keeping him, honestly, at this point. Carl Granderson here is a 57 overall D-end. 8-year pro. He had 4 sacks last year. He's still got 2 years left on his deal, so we'd be taking 4 mil on the chin next year. Any interest in him? Not really, nope. Okay, so basically we have 29 mil in cap space. We know that we're going to open up a ton of space with Olave. We still have 25 mil that we can open up with Olave. I don't know if his salary becomes bonus at some point. that would be a real issue. Because I would like to cut ties. Um, but for now, we'll operate as if. I think we gotta re-sign the center. Dang, 2 mil. Yeah, he's got good potential. I mean, whatever. Like I think we don't have a center right now. Justin Heron at left tackle. I mean, and how much is he gonna cost? 1 mil for another year. I mean, I don't know. I'm not like super tied to it right now. I think we can wait on that. Blake Group or kicker. Yeah, we'll re-sign him. He's been pretty solid. Um, Glenn Street, this undrafted free agent. He's pretty good. He only 5 tackles, kind of just a rotational guy, but like, can we get him on the cheap? We can. He's a 50 with 61 potential. He's 23 years old. I think we do. I think we give him that contract. And it's not going to take a lot to cut him if it just bottoms out at some point, but I think he seems to have proven himself here. Um and just investing in D-line is important. We got a good group of DNs there. D tackle. Okay. So like yeah, we got another undrafted free agent in Daryl Thomas here who popped up pretty good last year. Good run defender. And he can cost a couple mil to keep him around. Acquire in the amateur draft, this contract would add. Okay. So they're blocking me for my draft picks, but I think we can like make a cut somewhere because I would like to keep him around. And maybe even Kent Cortez as well. He's gonna cost 2 mil to keep around. It's a nose tackle. I think we can figure out something else for that, but CJ Graves, undrafted free agent as well, I think. And he's gonna be pretty cheap to keep around. Still some potential untapped there. Looking at a couple of these linebackers here. We had a lot of like outside linebackers and stuff with potential to still young players and but like Jalen Ford was starting a lot of games for us. And I don't see it. Let's move on from him. Let's look at our oldest players here, like Zach Wood, long snapper. Okay. Like there's got to be some bad ones though. Like A.T. Perry, now a 4th-year pro. I mean, we're short on receivers, but like this guy's in the final year of his contract. And I think I'd just rather use the space right now to lock up some stuff that's important. Dallin Holker, he's our best tight end right now. Mason Tipton, 3rd-year pro. We're going to have to re-sign him after this year. At this point, man, I'm just like, we're like just about scrapping the whole like receiving core, I think, at this point. Yeah, I'd rather just open up the space to get one of these guys back in here. Daryl Thomas. Ken Cortez. Both of them, possibly, if we can. Yeah, let me bring back this guy here. And to get the other one back, we would have to do some more. Rolando Leslie, pretty solid corner. Would like to keep him. Some of these linebackers here, I think. How much is he going to be to keep? Oh, just a mil? Yeah. Yeah. Let's keep that around for sure. Jamal White in. Corner as well. We do not have the cap for him. That's fine. Got a lot of strong safeties here. Will Harris. I'd rather start this 3-year guy and save the 2.5 mil on Will Harris, I think. Yeah. Save ourselves a couple mil there. Can we re-sign Kent Cortez quite yet? Yes. Great. Okay. I think... Sheet. And we have some running backs here as well. Still Brian Simon. Possibly drafting one. Okay, I think this is in a good spot for now. All right. Let's check out our 5th-year extension stuff. Yeah, because right, like we're at we are two over the cap right now. Okay, that's fine. So we still know we have 20 mil opening up with Olave. Hopefully it didn't convert to bonus. Okay. Yep, still going to be an injury settlement. That's fine. 5th-year extension for Brian Bracey. Oh, he has been pretty good. Worth that 20-something mil. Endurance is his best thing. Diagnosis. Pass rush strength. A decent run guy. Do we want another year of Brian Bracey? I don't know, to be honest. We have Kent Cortez waiting in the... I don't think we hand out that 5th-year extension. Because I think ultimately, like, if we want to re-sign him, he's going to be much less than that to bring back. So yeah, I think we're good for that for now. Okay. we're on a draft prep, so I'm going to close out the video here, and we'll hit the draft in the next video. But I think, you know, the roster, you know, we've been purging things a little bit, trying to figure out, taking a look like where we're actually at right now. Oh, whoops. Where we're actually at right now is this. So extremely deprived at skill player. Like we're definitely drafting like a running back, a tight end, a receiver. We're gonna and a quarterback. We're gonna have to do all three. I'm pretty sure. Probably an offensive lineman or two. It's going to be a very offensive draft. It should be a very offensive draft. I'm not going to pigeonhole myself in that. If I see something on defense that I do like, you know, we have like the defense isn't absolutely perfect, and we need some depth there as well. And I do think like taking defensive line is something we should do every year as well. So we'll see how it all shakes out. But I think, you know, there's definitely going to be an emphasis on drafting offense in this draft. So, all right. Thanks for watching, you guys, and we'll catch you in the next video. Peace.